Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Psychedelic Porn Crumpets Jack McEwan Studio vs. Live.
right. I feel like a lot of times the studio is an artifact. This is where the song existed at this moment. And I love bands that embrace that. But then you take it and you put it in the live setting, and as it lives on the road, it becomes, a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I would definitely like that. I'd say we're two bands. There is the live band, and the way we perform music is completely different to what it sounds like on the record. Partly because the record was just like what I've made, and then we go and do drums, and so Rich and Chris and like the bass player Billy only play it the first time once it's finished. Sometimes, or they add little bits as we're tinkering away. So, yesterday we were jamming some of the new songs off the new record, and then we were like, "Oh, we should extend this, or we should change that." And so the live set almost becomes like, "Here's what the song sounds like, or what you know it." But then when we play it live, it's going to be completely different, and hopefully more enjoyable because it's got a bit more atmosphere to it. But then again, I should wait and then record what sounds good after the whole tour. But I don't know. It's
Right, the road testing. Yes,
Yeah.
there's that thing. Do you write the songs, you run them for a year or two before you go into the studio and you know what it is, or do you capture that moment? I like the capturing the moment because you can always go put out a live album on Bandcamp. I mean, how hard is that to upload a show and say this is what it's become if you're, into it?
Yeah, I think that too. And there's so many different ways of what it can be. I suppose the studio is supposed to be that's the best this song can ever sound, and it is going to sound. But then I like going and watch old bands who's they change it and it's completely different. Apart from sometimes I can't stand it when their vocalists are singing different phrases or whatever. Just do it like the record I want to sing. But I don't know.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's something to be said. I've always likened, most music you want, I went and saw you too. I wanted to hear Sunday Bloody Sunday like it was on the record. Of course I did, But then there's a whole nother thing, what they call jam bands in America, where people go and don't want to hear that. They want to hear something, completely different, which mostly lies, I guess, with the improvisation thing.
Yeah.
Right? How do you approach improvisation with your live shows?
Man, there's lots so when we sort of do extend parts and we have a little gap, there'll be sort of a time limit, I suppose, on where you go. And I'd say from the first tour or the first show of the tour to the last show of the tour, if we change it, there's parts that work and sound good. So towards the end of the tour, you're switched on, and it's almost not as much improvisational anymore because you're almost going, oh well, I know that part's coming and this part, and you sort of cohesively go together. But then it's not, because it's not jotted down anywhere. Is it still improvisational? I don't know. It's to be fully.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Fish does. If you listen to Fish, I have a YouTube channel that I'm part of, and it's all about Fish. 90% of it. We, after every concert, we do recap shows 15 minutes after the encore. And listening to it that much, Fish have jams that they repeat over and over again. There are structures, they go into certain modes and things over and over again, and they just stick them in different songs. So people are like, my God, they did 30-minute Tweezer. Well, they played Tweezer, and then they did Jam A, Jam C, and Jam F, if I wanted to call them that. But people hate me for saying that. But there's a lot of trust with improvisation, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for sure. For one, hopefully the drummer is going to stick in the same key or the same time signature. He can't change. I've always thought the drummer is your backbone. If he goes off, you're all fucked. So it's Same could be said for the bass player, but then it's interesting if he changes key without everyone else knowing it and you go on. So I suppose you got to find like a pulse. Like if you're all on that pulse, like fair play, go wherever you can. But then it's like melodically, I kind of like the idea of if you know something, then you kind of go around on it. So you can keep the same structure or you can keep the same chord progression, and then try and fiddle bits and pieces. Like if it's a different guitar loop or someone does a harmony or something. But we know, I mean, like half our band is not trained in music. So if someone's like, modulate to the seventh, you're like, like, I have no idea where you're going, man.
Right. What does that mean?
I can hear it.
It's finding a balance between rehearsed elements and spontaneity.
Yeah, 100%. Which is like, I suppose if we were going into a studio or like, I suppose like the best time I think as well is when you're jamming with someone new and so they've got all these weird quirks and techniques that they've gathered from listening to different music and learning bits and pieces and jam with other people. So when you do go into a room with someone, like, I haven't done it in a while because I've just been jamming and touring with Porn Crumpets for so long, but doing this other project with friend Alex, and that's like purely recording. But then me and my other friend Tom and Tyler, we went and just got a room and we're like, sweet, let's see what happens. And that was so refreshing because I felt like I was like 18, like 19 again, where you're like, fuck, like, that's right. Everyone's...
This is why I do this?
Yeah, that's it. It was cool. And even just swapping instruments and being like, all right, like I got this little lick or something, so you just add something and then you're jumping on the drums before you know it and you're 6 beers deep. It's like, I think that is like... If you could record it as well, it depends. Do you want to leave it there or do you want to go and bring that back to a song? It's like, is it just enough for you guys to enjoy it? Which I think sometimes it is. Like, you don't need to kind of share it or release it. It's like, it's just purely there. It's that moment. And then it's sad though, sometimes.
You definitely have to record it though. You have to record everything. I mean, for me, I've always, people like, my ex-wife used to hate me because I'd listen to like rehearsals of bands. And she'd be like, what? I'm like, I'm trying to decipher what's going on. You listen to the rehearsal and you can hear like Dylan releases all that stuff. And you can hear how a song morphed over time, you know, the demos. And
maybe I should do that then. I've got an absolute, like sometimes, because I'll just go, if I'm trying to work out a song, I'll just loop it for like 20 minutes or whatever. And then you just like, here's all the little tinkery parts. And I listen back and go, oh, that works, this works, that works. But yeah.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.